our next speaker is a very, very good friend of mine. He's from here, right here in Austin, Texas. He's sold millions of dollars online. When he got started, he was actually in college, working out of his dorm room, and within 30 days, he was making a full-time income. Within a year, he was making six figures. I mean, he's like one of those sort of prodigy stories we hear about who started when he was in college. Right now, he has a top 10 podcast called Freedom Fastlane, and now he actually has 3 products on Amazon that are scheduled to do over 6 figures in profit this year. He's also a top 10 ASM affiliate, so let's give it up for my friend, ASM customer, and ASM affiliate, Ryan Moran.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Are you guys having fun today? I want to slough off the lunch hangover. So can we all stand up for a second? Oh, cool. I always wanted to do that. So Napoleon Hill says in Think and Grow Rich that if a man can visualize, or a woman can visualize something, then he or she can achieve it. So if you want to close your eyes for a second, that's cool. If you want to leave them open, that's fine. But I know that 80% of the room here is at the point where they're making a couple sales a day or they're waiting for their inventory to arrive in Amazon fulfillment. So if you want to close your eyes, go ahead. But I want you to imagine for a second that you hit your ideal sales goal for a day. Something happened, a video went viral, a press release got picked up, you got featured on the front page of Amazon, something switched in your business, and now you're hitting that first benchmark. Let's start it at 100 sales a day. Feel where that is in your body. For me, I feel it usually in my chest, in my hands, that excitement that starts to build when you know, now you can ditch the crappy job. We can upgrade the house, the wife is gonna be paid for, my kids are gonna be fine. I go to Thailand a lot. You feel that excitement. You hit that 100 sales a day. We can 10x that to 1,000 sales a day. Feel where that starts to build in your body. Okay, you can open your eyes, high five the person next to you, say, I'm gonna make it happen. All right, have a seat. Thank you. Hey, by the way, where is the tribe? Yeah. I am so ridiculously proud of the tribe. The tribe is a group that I started when I started going through ASM as a customer, as a new member. And I started the tribe as a group of people to go through it together. We've gone through it the second time now. We have people who are doing 6 figures. We have a couple people who are doing 6 figures a month. If you log into ASM Central, the #1 person on the leaderboard right now is a tribe member. I am so ridiculously proud of those guys. So congratulations, you've done awesome. So today I'm going to be talking about launching your Amazon product. We're going to get a lot of ideas this weekend. We've already gotten a lot of them. Some of you may be experiencing some sort of overload already, and we're only on day 1. So what I'm going to be talking about is directly to the majority of you who are at that starting point of really getting that business off the ground. I've tested a variety of different ways to get a product going, and I think that I have built a formula that is a home run that just about anybody can duplicate. I want to tell you, first of all, this was not my first thing that I was going to talk about. Originally, I was going to talk about how to kiss like a millionaire. That's Matt and I on the beach in Thailand. Callie took that picture. There was some jealousy going on there. And that wasn't gonna be my first talk either. For you Anchorman fans, I was talking about how to be a classy Amazon seller. But I know that most of the room here is at that point where you're selling a few a day or you're waiting for your inventory to arrive. And we're going to get a lot of ideas this weekend. We've already gotten a bunch. But I believe in the mentality of when you're starting a business, the first thing you have to do as a new business owner is to go get a customer. There's not a bunch of big steps or new strategies that you have to learn. Your one primary focus is to go get a customer. So I'm going to be talking about the strategy that we've done to get a lot of customers quickly, because then we can start worrying about the other stuff, the stuff that is nice. We have this square one where we need to start, and I've heard it in a lot of the questions that are going on, and the conversation sometimes is getting lost in stage 3. Where is the point where we really launch our business so we're at the point where we're getting consistent cash flow, and then we can worry about the rest of that stuff? Is it okay if I just focus on that section of getting cash flow coming in? Cool. One warning, I can tell you from experience, this works so well that you will run out of stock. I didn't expect applause on that because we timed this perfectly. What I really wanted to show you was all the details of what exactly is happening in the example that I'm going to be showing you, but instead, we did this process, and it worked so well that we're completely out of stock. And since Amazon has certain restrictions on how much inventory you can have if it's an oversized item, well, we timed it just perfectly so you guys can see very little. So if you guys want to see the listing that we're using, this is the redirect. It's at zenactivesports.com/Amazon. This will redirect to our actual listing. You can't buy it right now. It'll say out of stock for the reasons that you'll be seeing in a few slides. So real quick, I started doing this internet marketing thing when I was in college. I was actually studying in a school in Indiana to be a pastor. I decided very quickly that I couldn't see that in my life. And I already had this business, and I started growing this business, and somehow along the way became pretty well known as somebody who taught internet marketing strategy and make money online strategy. I never intended for it to go that way. I never wanted to be one of those guys, but people kept asking me to talk about it, so I kept talking about it until all of a sudden that felt like all I was doing was talking about that, and I didn't enjoy it. So I actually met Matt at a gym at one of the hotels here in Austin for a different conference, and we fell out of touch for about a year, and then met each other on a ski trip, in this picture right here, sat next to each other on a bus, and I was looking to make a transition. I had hit this point where I didn't want to be doing the things that I was doing. In fact, I've never worked a real job in my life, but I felt like I was a slave to my business. I was waking up every day and operating in a business that I didn't want to be in, and I wasn't happy. And I was looking to make a change, and this was right before Matt launched ASM the first time, and we were talking about his strategy. He was telling me the strategies of his business, and he told me that he was about to launch this product, and he told me how he was going to do it, and I wisely informed him that it would never work, that no one was ever going to buy this product. And today, all of you have proven me wrong. But by the way, how many of you can say that Amazing Selling Machine changed your life? That's most of you, and I'm one of those people. So Matt and Jason, if you're behind, I don't know where you are, but keep on changing the world, guys. Let's give them another hand, eh? So I started this business because I was looking to make a change too. And these strategies changed my life and have taken it into a direction that I'm much happier with, because even though I was an entrepreneur, I wasn't happy with what I was doing, and it was time to make a change. Today, like Matt said, I have 3 products that this year are on pace to do 6 figures in profit, and the majority of that is from just this first stage, what I'm going to be talking about. So if you think that you have to learn all these complex strategies, if you think that you have to learn a bunch of new stuff in order to reach a point in which you're financially free, I've got good news. That's not the case. My business is, again, I started just like you guys. I started at the same time most of you did. I started in round 1, and I'm still in my business. They're only 8 to 10 months old. They're only in phase 2, and they're doing extremely well. So Jerry was right when he said that you really only need to focus on a handful of things in order to start to see real amazing results. So take what is beneficial for you, during this weekend and forget the rest. I'm only going to teach you a few things, and those are the only things that we focused on, and they've made, just doing these few handful of things have made a tremendous difference. But because of the background that I had in marketing, I was able to kind of come up with this sequence by just applying a little bit of marketing. I found out that we can blow out most of our competitors in Amazon. So how many of you are at the stage right now, or how many of you have experienced this, where you've either put up a product in Amazon or a different business, and you think that you're done, and now you're going, okay, where the heck are all of the sales? Now, I know there's a few of you, because I've seen you in the forum, I've seen you in the Facebook group, saying all I did was list my product for sale, and now I'm making 40 grand a month. I know you're out there, and the rest of us hate you. Most of us have to actually do some heavy lifting in order to get the product moving. And the hardest part of this business is what I call the hump. There's this hump where you've made all of these decisions, you've expelled a lot of creative energy in order to research your market, in order to get your product up, you figured out all the stupid technical things that you didn't want to figure out because you just wanted to sell things, and now it's on its way to FBA, and then you've got the hump, where you've got a sale coming in here or there. You might be at 2 sales a day, and you're thinking, how the heck do I get over this hump? Launching your product is how I have gotten over that hump every time. And things get a lot easier when that happens. So by launching your listing, that's how I've been able to get over the hump. What this does is, first of all, it gets you to the top of your category very quickly. When we launched the listing that I sent out, we were taking orders while we were still having inbound shipments. So Amazon was saying that it wasn't even shipping yet, so it wasn't even like a fully live listing. But we peaked at 2,000 in our category, like total 2,000, which was really high for this category, without even having a full listing, just by running this process. Also, your rankings are going to increase faster, and Amazon is going to take you more seriously because you come out of the gate having high sales volume rather than this trickling process of having 1 every 3 days, then 1 every 2 days, then 1 every day, then 2 a day. You'll come out of the gate with a lot of sales. You'll also start to get the attention of people in your market, and you'll be in a position to get a lot of reviews, and I'm going to show you how we've gotten a lot of reviews over the long term as well. Now, we've done this 4 times. The first time was me getting all my mistakes out of the way, me trying new things, figuring out what worked, what didn't work. I'd call that, we did pretty well. It was a double or a triple. The second time was this yoga brand that you all are seeing, and this is a very competitive market. We did everything right. It was a home run. We knocked it out of the park. It was great. The third time was in a different brand, and we removed one of the pieces of the process. It didn't work. Really didn't do that well at all. That's like my trouble business right now. It's like we can't get it over the hump because we removed this one element. So then we put that element back into the process for my 4th product launch, and that one was another home run. So I believe that we've cracked this code, and I'm going to share it with you now. Now, these are the things you need to focus on as you are building your business. You can forget everything that you're being shown if it does not factor into 2 things: sales and reviews. This is all you care about if you are just building your Amazon business. Nothing else matters. Now, there's a chicken-egg issue here. What do you go after first? Do you go after sales, reviews? I kind of need the sales in order to get reviews, unless I want to fake them. But nobody's buying my product because I don't have enough reviews. So there's a chicken-egg issue. So what we decided to do was to just go after reviews. We were going to get them however we could. We'd be aggressive with it. We'd give away as much free product as it took. We'd go in the hole if it had to. And we'd focus completely on reviews with the idea that sales would follow. And that has worked really well for us. Now, I'm going to say something that I think 1 or 2 of you may disagree with, but the rest of you are going to feel very free after you get this. If you're focused on anything that's taking up your time, like press releases, YouTube videos, AdWords, Anything before you have consistent sales and a lot of reviews, you're wasting your time. You're putting the cart before the horse. You don't need to be worrying about it right now. All you need to be worrying about are things that are directly going to impact your sales and directly impact your reviews. Now, again, I know there's one or two of you in the forum that have had a YouTube video go viral and get a bunch of views, and that has made a huge difference. For most of us, that hasn't happened. And it's not doing a lot, but it's taking up a lot of our time. So I say focus on the sales and specifically the reviews first, and it will pull everything behind it a lot easier and faster. Make sense? All right, so the one thing you need to be focused on, of course, all of your revenue long-term is going to be coming from where you rank in Amazon. You get that by feeding the algorithm what it wants, which is sales and reviews. And so we thought if we launched with a lot of sales up front and we got a lot of reviews following it, we'd get high rankings, and that's proven to be true. Now, how do we do this? Matt said something interesting at the first conference, and he said this: the ideal situation, if you were releasing a new product, would be if you had a list of buyers that you could launch a product to. He was referencing someone that he knew in an industry that was releasing subsequent products. They had one list that they launched to, or one that they built up from their first product, and they were launching their second ones after that, and the momentum was very easy at that point. But for most of the people in the audience, and he said this from stage, that would be difficult. So I started to think, how could I duplicate that process? How could we get a list of buyers who wanted what we had to sell without having a previous product, which is most people in this room? Well, there's two types of lists that we focus on consistently with our product launches. One is personal contacts, which I know pretty much every single person in this room has leveraged, and all of your friends and Facebook friends are tired of you hearing about your new product and bugging them to get a new review. Okay, well, we did it. We put all the people that we knew would buy our product and leave a review in a spreadsheet, followed up with them. We did this whole process. That was okay. That got us to the 50-yard line. But building up a Facebook following made a tremendous difference in momentum and getting leverage and moving things forward quickly. Building up a Facebook following. This is our Facebook page in the yoga space. You can look it up. It's called I Love Yoga. Currently only has about 10,000 likes. I'll show you how we did it in a second. It was a very straightforward process. When we launched this, it only had 5,000 or 6,000 people. So we didn't have to have a tremendously large list, and it didn't take a lot of time or money to build up this list, but it made a tremendous impact in where we end up ranking for our major keywords because we got the ball running right out of the gate. Now, a lot of us have internet marketing experience in this room, and for a long time we've been hearing that the money is in the list. People have been building up lists the same way for about a decade now. Well, if you're like me, you don't open email as much as you did 10 years ago. In fact, if you're like me, you're probably opening up your email, scanning down the sender line, and hitting click, 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 delete, and that's where all of your email goes. So we specifically built up a list on Facebook for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's a lot faster, easier, and cheaper to build a following on Facebook than it is to build up an email list, especially when you're first starting out. People are conditioned to the squeeze pages now. Opt-in rates are going down. Open rates are going down. Click-through rates are going down. Meanwhile, everyone has a Facebook, and all they have to do in order to get on your list for Facebook is click a button that says like. That's it. It's one click of a mouse. And guess what? If you're doing your engagement well enough, then 50 to 100% of the people on your list are seeing your message. We crave that in the email marketing world. Right now, the engagement for sending out an email, industry average is about 5% right now. 95% of people are deleting email messages if your marketing is good. That's the benchmark right now in the email marketing world. In the Facebook marketing world, it's about 50%. You put a message on your Facebook page, your public Facebook page, where people have liked your brand, 50% to 100% of people. I have gotten 100%, and if you just boost a post with a click of a button, 100% of your audience can see your message. There's also a viral component. People don't forward emails anymore. You don't post emails publicly. But if you get a cool content piece that shows up on Facebook, there's a viral component where your audience is doing a lot of the heavy lifting for you. Now, if you look at the page that we put up, note, like our company brand is called Zen Active. But this is not a Zen Active page. This page is I love yoga. Because everyone who loves yoga will agree with that. Not everybody, and I'd say 10% of the people, if we were to market to the same people, if we had our listing be called Zen Active Yoga, we'd lose 90% of the people who are into this. Because just this phrase, I love yoga, that's our marketing message. So if you can think outside of your product and look at who is the demographic that you are targeting. If it's face cream, it's women over 40. If it's a weight loss, it's probably the same demographic. If it's something in sports, it's a certain sporting event or a sporting activity. If your target market is hunting, your page can be I love hunting. Go for it. But to make this strategy work, you do not want to be targeting your brand. You are targeting the overall demographic that will buy your product. That's how we start to build a list that is going to be interested and engaged in the product launch that you're going to be releasing. This is the ad that we used. Do you like yoga? Like our page. Woo! I did not have to pay a copywriter for that. This is the most simplistic ad ever. Picture of someone doing yoga. Hey, like our page. That's our best performing ad right now. And all of them are some variation of that. Do you love yoga? Like our page. Most of it's just been image testing. Swapping out different images with pretty much the same line. Do you love yoga? Like our page. I've tested a lot of variations of ads. For some reason, I always have the best results with this one. It's a direct call to action. Is this simple? I mean, can you write this ad? Do you love hunting? Like my page. There you go. And my budget was $10 a day. $10 a day to build up a following big enough for me to launch a product from obscurity to one of the top sellers in the industry. $10 a day. Now, we also released content on the page in order to increase the engagement. So the process looked like this. We put up the page. It was called I Love Yoga. We put up a couple content pieces. We started to run some ads at $10 a day with a super simple ad, and we started collecting likes. Then we worried about something like engagement, where we were releasing good content. We took this video from YouTube, put it on our page, and we spent a couple of days where we were driving traffic straight to this content piece. I don't know if you can see this. This has 300 shares and 500 likes. People are starting to get engaged in the conversation that we're having. Now, the whole reason we're doing this, again, we're still experimenting with the launch strategy at this point when we're doing this. But the theory was we wanted to just get engagement on the group so that when we started to talk about our product, they already trusted the brand. We weren't asking them to go buy something like you're going to talk to a friend to help you out. We were starting to build up a real conversation, and we built up engagement using this process. So this was, again, an inspirational video that we found on YouTube that had millions of views, that tugged at your heartstrings. We spent a few dollars driving some traffic to it, and there was a viral component that started to spread the conversation. We were getting more likes and more engagement as a result. On a regular daily basis, we were just posting pictures. The caption on here is yoga inspiration for the day. That was brilliant. It's a picture of someone doing yoga, and there's likes and shares on this. This was, I think, the most recent one. We started doing this on a daily basis. Then one day, first of all, Most of us have some sort of experience in the internet marketing world, right? You've seen a launch before, right? We all bought Amazing Selling Machine. We've seen a launch before. We decided to copy that process, not through a mailing list, not by getting a bunch of affiliates to promote us, but just starting to have that conversation directly on our Facebook page. So this is the message 30 days out. We're releasing our premium yoga mat in less than 30 days. To kick it off, we'll be giving away some free mats. Stay tuned for details. This is in the middle of us releasing content on the page. They're starting to see that there's a mat coming. They're already starting to trust us as a brand, and now we're saying we're going to be giving away some free mats. A few days into that promotion, we start the conversation to be about the best features of our product. Here's a close-up picture of our mat. We talk about the non-slip surface, and we just start to highlight the features of the product that we have, just in a cool and ethical way. Just getting the conversation. It's been all about yoga and inspiration, and now we're starting to have the conversation getting closer and closer to launch day about our specific product to a group that is already starting to warm up to us. Then launch day arrives. We didn't have affiliates. We weren't spending money to build an email list. We just had the Facebook following. So here's what we did. This is pretty ninja. We decided that we were going to give away a selection of mats to launch this brand. And in order to qualify to win that mat, all you had to do was share the launch announcement post. And all of a sudden, hundreds of people are starting to share our product virally on Facebook. Hundreds of people are sharing it on their Facebook wall. It's starting to go a little bit viral. We're getting the attention of some higher-ups in our space just from running this simple launch process. We ran content, started talking about the product. We said, well, we didn't know how we were going to do the launch process until like 2 days before, and then we had the conversation of, how are we going to have people enter to win? Let's do a viral component to it. Let's just make people share the launch announcement. It worked beautifully because our entire audience saw it, because 300 people who follow us on Facebook are sharing how excited they are about this new product. It's starting to garner attention. The result of this is that we peaked at 2,000 sports and outdoors before people could actually get the product shipped to them. So this was just in having a conversation about the product and people sharing it. We were not doing SEO. We were not buying traffic from AdWords. We were not doing press releases. We were not doing YouTube videos. This is the only thing we were doing, was focusing on what is going to be the nucleus of our sales and the nucleus of our reviews. Because we knew if we gave away a small selection of mats that most of those people would give us a review, and that would be enough of getting the ball rolling to get consistent sales for more customers that we could get to review. This is all we focused on. It worked like a charm. As a result, we were selling product from day one. Not just like a mat here and there. We were selling a lot of product right out of the gate. Again, we tested this before, and we removed the Facebook element. We were just doing personal contacts, which is what most people in this room are doing, and it didn't work. It was a strikeout. But then the product after that, where we put the Facebook element back in, it was a home run again, because it's nice, fresh blood from all over the world, from people who are organically interested in what it is that you have to offer. We also started ranking for keywords, which is the ultimate goal of this, and we started climbing really, really fast, because momentum comes right out of the gate. We didn't come out with 1 sale a day and then started to grow to like 3 sales a day after a month. We came right out of the gate having a lot of sales. That, I believe, plays a factor into the algorithm. Not sure. But from everything I've tested, when I get that, it makes a huge difference where I end up ranking on Amazon. So we immediately started ranking and climbing very quickly for a lot of buyer keywords. So what you need to remember from this, and then I'm going to move into something else, what you need to remember from this specific strategy is that all you need to focus on is sales and reviews. You need to get a tribe of people excited about your product. You need to get a small group of people ready to purchase your product. That will get you over the hump very, very quickly. Sales and reviews, from everything I've tested, play obviously the biggest role in where you're ranking, and launching with something like this makes that process a lot faster and easier. So we did it on Facebook. We gave away a lot of free products in order to get reviews. We just decided we were going to be aggressive with it. You don't have to be as aggressive as we were. A lot of people in my tribe were not as aggressive at this, and they're still seeing fantastic results just from doing half of this strategy, from a smaller audience, just getting the ball rolling and collecting reviews. Now I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the review process, because we decided we were going to focus on reviews, but in order to do that, we had to build up that audience, and we had to do a giveaway in order to get that conversation really, really moving. We were okay doing that. But I want to talk about how we get reviews, and I'm being honest when I say this. I sat in front of my computer wondering if I should talk about this or not. After Ezra talked about the 100 monkeys and the collective consciousness, I kind of wish I hadn't. But this is the one thing that we do to get reviews. Looks like this. We pick up the phone. That's it. We live in the internet world. A phone call goes a long way in 2014. This is the conversation that we have with our customers. Hi, is this John? Hi, John. This is so-and-so from Zen Active Yoga. I just called to make sure that your mat arrived on time. Yes, number one. Great. Have you opened it yet? Yes, number two. Is it what you expected? Yes, number three. Great. I so appreciate you giving me this feedback today. As a thank you for sharing your experience, would it be okay if I sent you a $5 off coupon on a future order? Yes, number four. Awesome. Tell you what, I'm going to send that over to you right away. What email address should I send that to? Hey, is it okay if I include a link to leave us a review in that same email that I'm giving you a coupon? At this point, they've said yes 4 times. They're going to say yes again, and they'll feel like a jerk if they take a coupon without leaving the review, even if they don't use the coupon. This one thing in one of our other businesses made the difference between obscurity and getting that #1 seller tag on Amazon. This strategy of picking up the phone and calling our customers. Outsource the whole thing. My work was writing that script. Took me about an hour of getting them to say yes a couple of times and then asking, would you leave us a review as we send you this coupon? Now the question is not, will you leave a review in exchange for this coupon? It's, can I leave the link in the same email that I'm giving you this coupon? Psychologically, they've just said yes to you 4 or 5 times. They are much, much more likely to send you a review at this process. And when you start implementing this and you have reviews coming in on a consistent basis, that is when the ball really starts moving. This is when we really started to pick up momentum. Now, the business that I did this in first is about 8 months old. When we started that business, we had 0 reviews, and our competitor had 81 reviews. The people above us had 81. As of this week, that one product, after 8 months, has 94 reviews. Our competitor has 88. We've gotten, 12 times, 1,000% more reviews than our competitor, and that is the reason why we're #1 and they're #2 now. just by picking up the phone and asking them, did they get their product? Did they open it? Was it what they expected? Can I send you a coupon? Now, we time this 10 to 15 days after it says their product is shipped. So in your Seller Central account, after it's stopped pending and it shows that it's shipped, we just have our virtual assistant time 14 days back, call those customers. That conversation gets an incredible response. You will get way more reviews if you call your customers. It's, did your product arrive on time? And we know it did because it's fulfilled by Amazon. Did you open it? It's been 14 days. They don't have a brown box just sitting in their closet anymore. Was it what you expected, or do you like it? And then, great, thank you so much for leaving me this feedback. Is it okay if I send you a coupon on a future order? That's how that goes. Yes, correct. We'll come back to that. I've got more to hit. So once we finish that process, so we have now launched our product, and we have reviews coming in. We doubled our sales overnight through one little ninja tip. And this is the listing for, if you type in coconut oil, you can see that #1 bestseller tab. You guys have seen this, right? Notice that #1 and #2 both have a #1 bestseller tab. It's because they are listed in different subcategories. We found this out totally by accident. We were looking at our competitors and noticing that they were listed in a really obscure subcategory that we didn't even know existed. We found out that the only way to get into it was by emailing Amazon directly and saying, hey, can we get into that category? As soon as we emailed them and got into that category, this is right after our launch. As soon as we got into that subcategory, we got a #1 bestseller tab, because we were now selling more than the people who were previously ranking #1 in that small subcategory. You get 2 subcategories. So the one that we picked was a pretty small one. It was directly related to our product, but it was small. So we dominated it, and as soon as we got that #1 seller tag, we dominated everybody else in our market. We were over. It was done at that point. We had done all we could on Amazon. We maximized that channel for that product. I'll go through this quickly because there's 2 guys in suits standing next to me. But an important question that really grew our business was asking a question. Now, this is starting to be in phase 2. So some of you don't need to worry about this right now. But our phase 2 question was, what are we doing with our customers after they buy on Amazon? We're using cross-sells and upsells in order to maximize our customer value, because we started to realize that if we doubled that, we could make twice as much money with the same amount of customers. Amazon's a great lead source for buyers, especially when you're maximizing that customer value more than just the $12 or $20 profit that Amazon is giving you on one sale. What else can you do with that? When you get to the point where you're having 30 buyers a day, it's fairly small, but 30 buyers a day can be a 6-figure business. It usually is. All right, so I'll wrap up since you guys are looking at me like that. We're good? Okay. Last question. If you guys get one thing from this weekend, it really, really benefited myself and the rest of the people in the tribe, that mastermind group, of just getting close with the people that are sitting next to you and going through the business together and sharing honestly what's working for you and what is not working for you. If you can come out of this weekend with a handful of people that you meet weekly or bi-weekly with in order to encourage each other and share strategies with, that will be immensely valuable. I do have one. If you want to apply for it, it's tribeof25.com. Was this fun? Is this good stuff? Okay, cool. I have no products for sale. I've shut down my internet marketing business. If you go to any of my old products, there's a squeeze page that doesn't even work on there anymore. I have nothing to sell. The only way you can find me if you want to continue this conversation, I do have a podcast. It's called Freedom Fastlane. If you go to iTunes and type in Freedom Fastlane, I also rank because of reviews. iTunes is just like Amazon and where reviews help you out. So if you guys want to continue this conversation, I have a podcast. I make no money. It actually costs me money to run the podcast because I don't sell anything on it, but I can't not talk about this stuff. So Freedom Fastlane is my podcast. We can continue the conversation there. Cool? Thank you for having me, everybody. Yep.
We do have just a couple. You got a fan, buddy.
Hi. Thank you.
We only have a couple of minutes because we got a little bit behind. We've got one per. We can take 2 questions, and that's it. So yeah.
Ryan, thank you very much for that. I had the pleasure of sitting in last year on your tribal meeting.
I remember.
Fantastic.
Good to see you again.
Thank you. 2 quick questions. You spoke of the pre-sale element. For those of us who haven't experienced that, what are the steps that we go through to sell or pre-sell the product before it's in stock?
All we did was start talking about the features of our product that had some sort of benefit to the people that were following us on Facebook. So we probably listed out 8 to 10 benefits that would be beneficial to the people following us on Facebook. And we did 1 per day along with a picture with about a paragraph description of what that benefit was.
And the last question is, you used the phone call. Did you use the Amazon information?
Yes.
Okay.
So in your Seller Central account, you get the address and you get the phone number. In phase 2, by the way, we're using the address as well. But in phase 1, we use the phone number that's provided inside of your Seller Central account. Yeah, sure.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi, Brad from Australia. Thanks very much, Ryan.
Hey, Brad.
I've been selling a bit, but dribs and drabs without doing a launch. That seemed to come across from when you're putting a product up for the very first time. So would that equally work well for a product that's doing okay, but just to really ramp it up?
Yes, it will. It will work doubly well if you do it on a second product, because you'll have those buyers from your first product, even if there's only a few hundred. They will be the loudest people in that second launch. What I would probably do if I were you is I would focus really hard on getting reviews from those customers that are dribbling in, because that played the biggest role in our business. You can start preparing a launch and do it for a second product.
Gotcha. Thanks very much.
So we have about 5 minutes or so we can take a couple more questions. We'll just see until we run out of time. We've got about 5 minutes, so go for it.
Thank you. Randy West.
Hi, Randy.
2 questions. One, if you build up a following on Facebook, about how much of a following do you think you need before you would launch a product?
We started at about the 5,000 point. Again, that was fairly aggressive, maybe. 5,000 wasn't hard, though, at all. Spending $10 a day, we were getting, like 300 likes a day, maybe? That $10 a day got us about 300. When you have a few thousand, you're ready to get started. Okay. As long as the engagement is there. The important thing is how many people are seeing those marketing messages. How many people are actually seeing it? And Facebook will show you this when you make a post, how many people saw that message. And about 50% of the people who had liked us were seeing that message. So at a few thousand, we were doing the same as if we had a 50,000 person email list, because the same number of people were seeing the marketing message with a much, much smaller audience.
Okay. Follow-up question. When you call your people that had purchased to get a review, about what percentage of those people actually leave a review?
A total is about 10% of total buyers. So I don't have data for how many people that we call, because some go to voicemail, some never answer, some don't call us back, and I haven't looked at all of that data. But I do know that about 10% of total buyers will leave a review.
Okay. And Matt and Jason, a follow-up question. In the ASM, when you do the emails, do you know what percentage of people leave reviews based on that method?
No, there's no way to track that. I wish there was, but there's no way to track that exactly.
Okay, thanks.
But,
And I can actually confirm the data that we have about the 10%. So,
and that sounds low, but when you're doing 10 to 20 sales a day, you're getting reviews every day, and it compounds. It's a snowball. It starts to build, and it builds really, really quickly.
okay, we got one more question. We're at 2 minutes.
Hey, Ryan. My name is Jamie from Miami.
Hey, Jamie.
Question is the following. I saw that in one of your slides you had health and fitness, I believe then yoga, and then supplements, and then it was supplements the only one that had a failure. For those of us doing supplements, my question to you is, typically when you do a supplement, and maybe I'm generalizing, but it's how to lose weight, how to do something, you're not being positive, you're trying to lose something. Maybe that's general, but I think that's fairly applicable. How can you use your formula, your system for a supplement that basically is trying to help somebody lose something instead of I love it?
Focus on the demographic that if it's lose weight, it's probably women over 35, over 40, and look at some sort of activity that they're into or the ultimate benefit that they're trying to accomplish. Fit over 40 would be a great Facebook page name for something like that. And you're showing workouts of moms, you're showing workouts of people over 40. That's a general mass market. And all of a sudden, hey, we're releasing a supplement because we've researched all the ingredients that work for the female body once they're post 40, and we've combined all the ingredients that are going to help along with the rest of the diet and exercise that we're talking about on this page. That's a great Facebook. You can feel free to steal that one.
Yeah, that's great. And also, sorry, follow-up would be, why did the supplement not work? I don't know if you went into that.
Okay,
why did it fail?
So the third time we tried this process, we tried it without the Facebook element. We just did personal contacts. Because in that brand, we didn't have a Facebook following, and so we were just building up personal contacts and asking people to leave reviews. It was a strikeout. It just didn't work. But then the next product that we released, we put back in the Facebook element, and it worked like a charm.
Great. Thank you very much.
Sorry, guys, we're out of time. So
I'll be
if
around.
you
You
could
can find me.
follow up with Ryan, but let's hear it for Ryan Moran.
Thanks, guys.
Great job, buddy.
Thanks,
Awesome
guys.
job, buddy.